Welcome. Today we will discuss induction motor characteristics and braking. So, first we will discuss steady state analysis of 3-phase induction motor. So, for steady state analysis we can use the approximate equivalent circuit as shown. Here E is missing in approximate. So, at the extreme right we have the resistance R2 dash by S and the reactance is JX2 dash for the rotor. Then the stator parameters are JX1 and R1, and so I have drawn a line, dotted line like this. This represents the air gap line. To the left of the air gap line we have the stator and to the right of the air gap line is rotor. So, when power crosses from stator to rotor, it crosses via air gap. So, this is the air gap line, and between at the here we have the EMF E2 dash, and also we have the magnetizing reactance JXM, core loss resistance RC, and this is the magnetizing current IM, this is the loss current IL, and this side is the current I2 dash because it is approximate equivalent circuit, and this is the current I1 and this is the applied voltage to the stator V1. So, we will use this approximate equivalent circuit for steady state analysis. In this equivalent circuit, we use the relationship E1 by E2 EMF ratio, E1 by E2 stator to rotor EMF ratio is stator to rotor turns ratio, N1 and N2 are the turns for the stator and rotor, and let us write this is the turns ratio A. Then E2 dash is the rotor EMF refer to the stator E2 dash, and that is always also equal to E1. So, that is A times rotor actual rotor EMF E2. Similarly, we have I2 dash, that is I2 by A, and Z2 dash equals to A square times Z2, and we can write in the approximate equivalent circuit stator current I1 is I1 phasor is the rotor phasor I2 dash plus magnetizing current IM. Here dash is missing in I2 dash, IL neglected for simplicity. So, this is one part. Then we have the synchronous speed omega s is in radian per second. It is 4 pi f by p. F is the frequency in hertz and p is the number of poles, and unit of omega s is radian per second. And the electrical synchronous speed omega e, that is 2 pi f. So, that is p by 2 times omega s. Then induction motor operates with a slip because it is asynchronous machine. At synchronous speed no power is developed. So, it runs at a slip which is different from the synchronous speed, that we define as omega s minus omega m divided by omega s. That also we can write it as omega e minus omega r divided by omega e, where omega r is p by 2 times omega m. Then in this equivalent circuit, what is the current I2 dash phasor? I2 dash phasor is applied voltage V1 divided by R1 plus R2 dash by S plus J into X1 plus X2 dash, and its magnitude I2 dash is V1 divided by R1 plus R2 dash by S square plus X1 plus X2 dash square root over. Then power is transferred from the stator to rotor via the air gap line, and that power is the air gap power P g, and in the equivalent circuit this is the power P g. So, air gap power in the equivalent circuit, power in this circuit or P g is the power in the resistance R 2 dash by S, because reactance does not represent any average power or real power. So, power P g is the power in the rotor resistance R 2 dash. So, air gap power P g equals to 3 for 3 phases 3 into I 2 dash square into the resistance R 2 dash by S. And further, rotor copper loss, we can write it as P 2 C u rotor copper loss, that is 3 into I 2 dash square into R 2 dash, because R 2 dash is the actual resistance of the winding and current is I 2 dash. And from above equation you can see this is the S times slip times the air gap power P g. Mechanical power P m equals to P g minus slip power or copper loss S P g, since P m is the air gap power minus rotor copper loss. So, we have P m equals to 1 minus S into P g. Rotor speed omega m is 1 minus S times the synchronous speed omega s. So, electromagnetic torque developed T e is mechanical power by speed, rotor speed P m by omega m. P m is 1 minus S times the air gap power and rotor speed is 1 minus S times omega s. So, this is P g by omega s Newton meter. So, torque T e is also, because synchronous speed is constant, torque T e is also expressed in synchronous watts, equal T e equals to P g synchronous watts. So, we will now find out the torque. Torque T e equals to P g by omega s. So, it is 3 by omega s into I 2 dash square into R 2 dash by s. So, that is equal to 3 by omega s V 1 square divided by R 1 plus R 2 dash by s square plus x 1 plus x 2 dash square whole into R 2 dash by s Newton meter. So, this is the torque expression. So, this equation relates the torque with slip s. So, from this torque and slip characteristics can be obtained. So, let us do further analysis to find out what is the maximum torque and at what speed it occurs. Torque is maximum when mathematically dt by ds equals to 0, because in the torque expression slip is the only variable. So, when dt by ds equal to 0, then torque is maximum. From that you can find out what is S equals to Sm, what is the value for maximum torque. There is another way we can find out. So, torque is represented in this expression, torque is represented by power in the resistance R 2 dash by S. So, torque is maximum when power transferred to the resistance R 2 dash by S is maximum. Torque is maximum when power transferred to R 2 dash by S is maximum. So, we can use maximum power transfer theorem, you recall it. So, when power becomes maximum when the load is purely resistive in AC circuit, that is R2 dash by Sm is the resistance, R2 dash by S at for the maximum torque. This is equal to the impedance, that is R1 square plus X1 plus X2 dash square root over. Right hand side is the impedance, which you can say source impedance, and left hand side is the resistance to which power is transferred. So, and of course, we have plus and minus sign here, because it is a square root, we have a plus and minus sign here. So, from this expression, slip for maximum torque is given by plus or minus R2 dash divided by R1 square plus X1 plus X2 dash square root over. See here, plus for motoring, minus for generating, because induction machine can also operate as a generator when the slip is negative. So, using this value of maximum slip Sm in the torque expression, we can get the maximum torque. TEM is given by 3 by 2 omega s is the synchronous speed, into V1 square divided by R1 plus or minus R1 square plus X1 plus X2 dash square root over. So, this is the expression for maximum torque, where plus sign is for motoring operation, minus sign is for generating operation. Now, the torque speed characteristics can be drawn. Vertical axis is the speed axis, horizontal axis is the torque axis. So, this is the starting point and this is the starting torque, and this corresponds to slip equals to 1. Machine is starting from rest, and as the supply is given, motor accelerates. This is some initial part, and then maximum torque is given by this point, which occurs at a slip Sm, and then machine enters into this region where it operates with slip between 0 and 1. This point is the synchronous speed point, where speed is the synchronous speed and slip is 0. So, within this region, slip is between 0 and 1, and this corresponds to motoring operation of the machine. And when speed is more than the synchronous speed omega s, slip, which is defined as omega s minus omega m by omega s, becomes negative when omega m is more than omega s. So, when the rotor rotates at a speed more than the synchronous speed, slip becomes negative. That means the relative speed of the rotor with respect to the rotating magnetic field becomes opposite, correspond to motoring case, and the machine operates as a generator when the slip is less than 0 or speed is more than the synchronous speed, and machine operates as generator. So, input power P in to the motor, which is 3 V1 I1 cos phi 1. So, when slip is negative, the relative speed of the rotor conductor with respect to the magnetic field is negative. The rotor induced EMF reverses the polarity, rotor current I2 reverses polarity direction, and the stator rotor state component of the stator current that balances the rotor MMF or rotor current also becomes opposite. So, phi 1 becomes more than 90 degree. So, power flow becomes negative and machine operates as generator, and this is the region corresponding to that when slip is less than 0, and this is the generating operation. And when the magnetic field is, when the speed is negative, motor is rotating in opposite direction, motor speed is negative. So, slip is omega s minus omega m divided by omega s, that is greater than 1. So, this corresponds to braking operation, and that is given in the fourth quadrant when sleep is greater than 1 and it is the braking operation of the machine. And as you find out here, the maximum torque for motor and generator operation are different, will have different magnitude. In the maximum torque expression, TEM expression, plus sign is for motor and minus sign is for generator. Maximum torque is different for motor and generator, and also the maximum torque is independent of rotor resistance, as you can see from the expression. Though the slip at which maximum torque occurs, SM, slip at which maximum torque occurs, SM is given by plus or minus R2 dash divided by R1 square plus X1 plus X2 dash square root over this. Slip at which maximum torque occurs depends upon the rotor resistance, and maximum torque is independent of the rotor resistance. So, in slip ring induction motors, where there is flexibility of adjusting the rotor circuit resistance, effective rotor circuit resistance, the maximum torque also can remain same, and the speed torque characteristics can be altered like this. So, this is for R2 double dash, this is for R2, this is for R2 dash. So, you have R2 less than R2 dash is less than R2 double dash. So, torque speed characteristics with varying rotor circuit resistance is like this set of characteristics. As you can see, this is the slip at which maximum torque occurs for R2 dash, and this is for R2 dash. You can see this can be varied, and also starting torque varies. As you can see in the for R2 dash, the starting torque is more compared to R2, and but it is less for R2 double dash. So, starting torque increases fast, and beyond a certain value of rotor circuit resistance, the starting torque again reduces. So, this is the torque speed characteristics of the induction machine for motoring as well as generating operation. Next, we will discuss another way of another equation for the torque, simplified torque speed relation. This simplification is applicable if the stator resistance is small, that means it is negligible and you take it to be 0. Then if R1 is 0, then what is S max, slip for maximum torque, that is plus or minus R2 dash divided by X1 plus X2 dash, and TE max, maximum torque, is 3 by 2 omega s. You can substitute R1 equal to 0, 3 by 2 omega s into V1 square divided by X1 plus X2 dash. And so, what is the torque TE? That is 3 by omega s into V1 square divided by R1 is 0. So, it is R2 dash by s square plus X1 plus X2 dash square into R2 dash by. So, we will simplify this. So, this is you can take 3 by omega s into V1 square divided by X1 plus X2 dash square into 1 upon, if you take X1 X2 dash by square, then it is R2 dash divided by X1 plus X2 dash square into 1 by s square plus 1 into R2 dash by s. So, this you can write 3 by omega s, which is just a minute, okay, 3 by omega s into V1 square divided by X1 plus X2 dash into R2 dash divided by X1 plus X2 dash into 1 by s, then R2 dash by X1 plus X2 dash is S max. So, 1 by S max square divided by S square plus 1. So, it is 2 TE max, then S max by S divided by S max by S square plus 1. So you can write it is 2 TE max into 1 divided by S max by S plus S divided by S max. So this is the simplified torque equation. So next we are going to discuss the methods of braking. So in induction motor, all three methods of braking, those are regenerative braking, dynamic braking and plugging, are applicable to induction motor. So first we will discuss regenerative braking. In regenerative braking, machine operates as generator. Here R is missing in generator and sleep is less than 0. So this occurs in following processes. First one is switching over to a low frequency source in variable frequency induction motor drive in order to reduce the speed, or downward motion of a loaded hoist mechanism, or switching over to a larger pole number operation in multi-speed cage motors. This is not practiced, last one is not practiced in recent years. So we will discuss first two methods of regenerative braking. So synchronous speed can be changed by changing the frequency as well as pole numbers. So when the synchronous speed has to be varied by changing the pole numbers, in that case the stator winding is wound for different number of poles, at least 2 or more number of poles the stator winding is wound for. But in induction motor, the number of poles of the rotor and number of poles of the stator winding should be same. But in this case of pole changing motor, the squirrel cage rotor is used, because a squirrel cage rotor is not wound for any particular number of poles. The number of poles of the squirrel cage rotor becomes same as the stator number of poles. So with squirrel cage rotor, the stator can have multiple windings for different number of poles, and by changing the number of poles the synchronous speed can be changed. But in sleeping induction motor it is not possible, it is not practicable to have different stator poles and rotor poles, different rotor pole windings, and to change both rotor winding and stator winding, it is not feasible. So only squirrel cage rotor machines have stator windings with different number of poles. By increasing the number of poles, the synchronous speed is reduced, and hence slip becomes negative and for the given motor speed, and regenerative braking is obtained. So let us discuss regenerative braking. Input power to the machine P in is 3 times for 3 phases, 3 V1 I1 cos phi 1. So in regenerative braking, the rotor speed is more than the rotating field speed of the rotating magnetic field. So slip is negative, S is less than 0, because speed is more than the synchronous speed. Slip is 0. As slip is 0, the polarity of the relative speed of the rotor conduct winding with respect to the rotating magnetic field is reversed, opposite. So the polarity of the rotor induced EMF becomes opposite,
and the direction of rotor current also becomes opposite. So the component of the stator current which balances the rotor MMF, rotor current, also becomes opposite. So that leads to angle phi 1, phase angle between stator voltage and current, more than 90 degree. So P in is input power is negative. That means power flows from the machine to the source. Machine operates as generator. So regenerative braking is obtained. How then regenerative braking can be obtained? So first case, first possibility, by reducing the frequency of operation. In a variable frequency drive, where variable frequency source is available for a given rotor speed, when the frequency is reduced, the synchronous speed also reduces, becomes less than the rotor speed. So regenerative braking is obtained and machine operates as generator. And another case, the overhauling load like hoist mechanism or crane moving down with load. This overhauling load drives the machine at a speed more than the synchronous speed, then also regenerative braking is obtained. So let us see first how the braking is obtained. Corresponding to a supply frequency f1, this is the synchronous speed omega s1, and motor is operating with a positive slip at operating point P1. At this operation at point P1, suppose frequency is reduced to f2, so that synchronous speed reduces to omega s2. New value of the synchronous speed is omega s2. So now the motor speed just before that was omega m1, and omega m1 is more than omega s2. So slip that at that moment is omega s2 minus omega m1 by omega s2 is negative, because motor speed is more than the synchronous speed. So as slip becomes negative, the rotor induced EMF, current and stator current component all become negative. So machine operates as a generator. Operating torque also becomes negative to the motor speed. So operating point shifts from first quadrant to second quadrant, and then follows this path and operates at a point P2 with negative torque and speed somewhat more than the synchronous speed. So during this changeover from operation P1 to P2, the machine operates as generator, and when the machine operates stably at point P2, the machine is also operating as generator. So regenerative braking is obtained by reducing the frequency, and this is easily achievable when the machine is fed from a variable frequency source like inverter or cycloconverter. So because frequency adjustment with inverter and cycloconverter is easily done at a very low price, so pole changing arrangement is not preferred, is obsolete. The other way of obtaining the regenerative braking is through overhauling load. Suppose this is the, when the frequency is fixed, suppose this is the motor speed omega m1 at point P1, and at that point machine is driven by an overhauling load like hoist mechanism, loaded hoist mechanism or loaded crane moving down. So they are the active loads. The overhauling loads are also called active loads. The active load drives the machine. So in that case, speed can be made more than the synchronous speed, and slip becomes negative, and machine operates as generator or regenerative braking is obtained. So this is the change operating. This is the operation during active load, regenerative braking through active load. Next we will discuss reverse current braking or plugging. So during motoring operation, the motor terminals, two motor terminals can be interchanged with respect to the supply terminal. If it is done, then the phase sequence is reversed. If the phase sequence becomes, when the phase sequence is reversed, the magnetic field rotates in opposite direction because it depends upon the phase sequence. So, before the braking, reverse current braking, synchronous speed was omega s, and after change of phase sequence, the synchronous speed becomes minus omega s. Minus omega s. So, in that case, slip s, that is minus omega s minus omega m minus omega s. This is the braking operation. So, SB is the slip for braking operation, that is 1 plus omega m by omega s, that is 1 plus 1 minus s, that is 2 minus s. S is the slip for motoring operation. S is the slip just before braking starts. So, as the slip is more than 1, the braking operation is obtained, which is called the plugging. So, in normal case, the normal motoring case, the magnetic field rotates ahead of the rotor. So, relative speed is positive and less than 1. So, for reverse current braking, torque speed characteristics can be drawn. This is the operating point P1 for forward motoring. At this point, phase sequence is reversed and direction of relative speed direction reverses. So, torque becomes negative and it is a braking torque, and operating point changes to the second quadrant. The torque becomes negative and it takes this path, comes to P2, where speed is 0, but torque is not 0. So, if the purpose of the braking through plugging is to stop the motor must be disconnected from the supply at point P2, so that motor remains stationary. This requires an additional speed sensor which will sense 0 speed and disconnect the motor from the supply. If the disconnection is not done at point P2, motor enters into third quadrant, that is reverse motoring operation, and operates as a motor in reverse direction at point P3. So, in the third quadrant, the speed and torque both are negative. So, it is a motoring operation in the reverse direction. And also, in normal motoring case, the relative speed, the slip speed is very small, whereas after reverse current braking or plugging, slip SB, which is 2 minus motor slip, that is very large. So, magnitude of the rotor induced DMF is also large, because relative speed is large, magnitude of rotor induced DMF is large, rotor current will tend to be large. To restrict the rotor current and component of the stator current to save values, high resistance must be connected in series with the rotor, so that current is limited. So, if high resistance is connected in the rotor, the torque speed characteristics will be different for braking operation when the resistance is connected. So, this is the other with higher resistance. So, operating point shifts like this and like this. This is for braking operation. For reverse current braking, torque speed characteristics is in the second quadrant, when the torque is negative and speed is positive. When the motor is operating as a reverse motor and again plugging is done, the motor enters into fourth quadrant. So, this is also plugging. For plugging operation, slip is more than 1. So, inserting a high resistance in the rotor circuit restricts the current to safe values. So, braking torque also increased with that high resistance. As you can see, without any external resistance, braking torque is small, though current is large. But with high resistance, the braking torque is also increased. So, motor can be quickly brought to rest.